At my dad's 70th birthday, my brother lifted his beer and announced, "Pack your bags, loser. This house is getting sold." People actually cheered. I stepped outside, made one phone call, and 10 minutes later, his new beginning turned into a disaster. 15 years earlier, my mom died and I moved back home to care for dad. Diabetes, then dementia. I quit my marketing job, gave up my apartment, and became his full-time caregiver. Meds, meals, appointments, nights where he wandered and I had to guide him back to bed. My brother showed up once a month, usually to ask dad for money. Dad passed 6 months ago, peacefully in his sleep. At the funeral lunch, my brother slid a will across the table. "Dad left everything to me," he said. "I got dad's old Honda and $5,000. That was his math for 15 years of sacrifice. What my brother didn't know was I handled every bill and document. 3 years ago, on one of dad's clear days, he asked me to go with him to our family lawyer. "I want you taken care of," dad said. "Jake has his own life." That meeting cracked everything open. Dad had taken 2 home equity loans against the house to help my brother's businesses. The lawyer showed us the filings. The restaurant was already closed, the store already bankrupt. Dad's hands shook over the paper. "He's been lying to me," dad whispered. Then the lawyer added the part that made my stomach drop. "Credit cards opened in dad's name. Tens of thousands," dad cried. I held his hands and swallowed my rage. The lawyer also found an old $500,000 life insurance policy from dad's working years. My brother had never heard of it. Dad changed the beneficiary to me that day, quietly, because we wanted dad's last months to be peaceful. So, after the funeral, when my brother strutted around giving me 30 days as a courtesy, I let him. He brought realtors through while I was still grieving. His wife walked room to room talking about staging like my memories were clutter. Then he threw dad a posthumous birthday party. Relatives who hadn't visited in years showed up ready to clap for my eviction. My brother clinked his bottle. "We accepted an offer," he announced. "$425. He turned to me, smiling wide. "Pack your bags, loser." I stood, smiled back. "I'll be right back." Outside, I called the lawyer. "It's time." When I walked in, the party was still roaring. My brother's phone started ringing. He declined it. It rang again. He answered, annoyed. His smile disappeared. His face went white. "What do you mean the loans are more than the value?" The room went dead quiet. He backed toward the kitchen, voice cracking about $375 in loans and a house worth $350. Another call came in and he froze. "The buyer is pulling out because the bank won't finance it." His wife grabbed his arm. "Jake, what does that mean?" "Shut up," he hissed, and everyone heard. Then the lawyer called him. I could hear the calm voice through the phone. "Yes, you inherited the house," the lawyer said, "and the debts attached to it." My brother turned and stared at me. "You knew," he said. I took a slow sip of water. "I handled dad's paperwork for 15 years. You never asked." His wife blurted, desperate, "What about the life insurance? That's supposed to fix everything." My brother whipped back to the phone. "Life insurance?" The lawyer paused. "The beneficiary was changed." That's when my brother looked at me with real fear. "Emma, help us. We're family." I stepped into the center of the room, the same spot where they'd just celebrated my homelessness. "Family?" I said. "An hour ago you called me a loser and told me to pack my bags." Everyone here cheered. I looked around. Nobody met my eyes. "I gave up my career to keep dad safe," I continued. "You showed up for money. Now you can show up for consequences." I grabbed my jacket. "Where are you going?" my brother asked. "To a hotel," I said. Dad made sure I'll be fine. The next morning, the lawyer told me the sale was dead and foreclosure was coming. My brother asked if I'd consider helping. I said no. That afternoon, my phone buzzed with messages from him, his wife, even cousins who'd cheered. I deleted them all. 3 months later, I bought a small house 2 hours away and started consulting for families caring for aging parents. I did one soft thing. I set up college funds for my niece and nephew through the lawyer. They didn't choose their parents. My brother did.